Then here's the brilliance of it all. Because it's an automatic transmission, you check it while it's running. In case you haven't noticed, there's an exhaust pipe right here. That's just brilliant. So we have to try to get fluid in here before the exhaust burns your arm off or your hand off. I'm going to do a quick introduction because I got to get this car finished before my daughter goes to work today. We're just going to do a transmission filter. So this is going to be a how-to put a transmission filter in 3.6 liter automatic. This is a Cadillac, but it'll be the same for a Malibu or a Impala or even a truck. Basically, hang tight, watch close. This shouldn't take too terribly long. Hopefully it'll be a great video for you to see what to do, and you won't be scared to do it yourself. So here we go. Modern cars are awesome. They have, I know this is an 07, but they have a drain plug. The old cars never had a drain plug, so this is a treat for me to have one. This will make life a lot easier. Oh my goodness, this is a tight one. All right, get out the old hand hammer here. There we go. So we're just gonna take that plug out. Boop, hit the camera. God, these cameras. Whoever thought we'd be putting a camera in a shop? Oh, that fluid looks awesome. This car is throwing a code saying to change the transmission fluid. I'm going to change the transmission filter. So we're going to do that. Shouldn't take us very long. Boy, that looks beautiful. I hate to throw that away. Transmission is very healthy, thank God. This is the one my daughter drives, and despite how it looks, it's a good, dependable car for her. Because I don't need my 16-year-old daughter getting stuck on the side of the road. Man, I probably should have saved on that. Because that's really good stuff. I wonder if I got a clean bucket, maybe. Because this stuff ain't cheap. Let me try that. I think I'm going to save on that fluid. Y'all might tell me I'm crazy. That's not a good idea. But gosh, that fluid looks... Nah, maybe not. Let's just change out on it. It's probably old. It's alright, y'all can stop yelling now. I'm not going to reuse it. I want to. It looks good. Maybe I'll use it in my car. But it's got a little dirt in there. So we'll find out just how bad she is when we get the pan off. We're going to drop the pan. It's the unfortunate part about it. We got a drain plug. Why don't they put a canister filter in these like they do on the engines? I don't understand. Wouldn't that make more sense? Instead of having to drop it and all that stuff. But anyway, we'll let this finish draining and then we'll start dropping the pan. Now what I always do, because I am a forgetful fella, and so I'm going to tighten the plug up. Even though we're still got a little bit of fluid in there, we're going to drop the pan. I'm going to tighten this plug up because I might forget to tighten it later, and I don't want to do that. So we're going to drop the pan. We're going to empty it completely anyway. We're going to tip her upside down, get whatever crud there is in there out. Change on the filter, and that'll be that. So anyway, next thing you know, we're going to just start taking all these bolts out. What I do is I take all the ones in the back out, and I leave a few of them in the front, and I can drop it, and then whatever fluid's left in there will not just go everywhere. Okay, the bolts are 10 millimeter. Yes, I know it's millimeter, but millimeter sounds better. We're just going to start zinging these out of here. Two bolts in, one here, one there. Now I'm just going to crack them loose. Alright, get my trusty pan underneath here. And we're just going to kind of give it a little, there we go, felt it come loose. Alright, now as I loosen these, this will drop. There shouldn't be a lot of fluid because we drained it. But if there is, see how it's coming down, just gradual. That's what we want to do. I don't see anything coming out, so I'm going to jack this up so it's real close. That way the pan can drop into it. Alright, now that probably stops you from seeing much. So I'm just going to take these two bolts completely out. There we go, there's one side. There's the other side. Now the moment of truth. And there she is. Now there's a little bit of fluid left in there. We're going to dump that out. Wow. There's a little tiny bit of junk on the magnet in here, but other than that, the bottom of this pan looks immaculate. This car, I got a good deal on this car. She's in very nice shape. That's the bottom of the pan. Very, very clean. So we'll clean what's on the magnet out of there. I'll clean the bottom of the pan out. First we're going to put the filter in because she's dripping all over the place. Then we'll clean that pan off. The gasket looks to be in good shape. I'm probably going to put a new one on anyway. That one's really nice. This car, I'm not unhappy with this car at all. Anyway, let's go ahead and get the filter changed out because they had two different ones. And I'm not sure which one it's supposed to be, so I got them both. The difference in the filters. I was almost getting ready to put this one in, and I said, well, let me compare the two, because they're identical this way, okay? This one's got a different kind of O-ring. Okay, it's got the same two here, but a different O-ring. This is a little longer. This piece is a little longer. I don't know about this piece, probably not. But this one and this one are shorter than this one and this one. So it looks like it's actually this one that I need. But what I'm going to do is I am going to go measure to be sure and make sure this is the correct one. And I'm going to also look at this seal to see if I can see that up in there. And if that's there, then I'm probably pretty darn sure this is the one. All right, on the one in the car, from here to the top was roughly 2 inches. And I'm going to say that that's probably it, because this one is only about 1.5 inches. So this is going to be the one. Yahoo! Had to use my spectacles so I could see what I was doing. Yep, this is the one. And that one was already open. Somebody had already opened that one, so evidently this was the one for their car too. But always, 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 and you'll see that I've done this in almost every video. Anytime I'm putting new parts, I always compare the old part to the new part. And in this case, this is the correct part. I want you to look at this pan before I even clean it. Look at how clean this transmission is on the inside. That's beautiful. Before we put the new one on, we're going to have to put a little oil. Put a little oil on my hand, put a little bit on the seal. Just like that. Probably get some right here, right? This is all dripping. There we go. Get some more. Wiring inside of a transmission. Who would ever think this day would ever come? It's dripping on me. That's even better. All right, so we got that ready to go. Now we got to pull this old one out of here. From what I can see, it's just a matter of pulling it out. Just kind of wiggle it and pull down on it. And there we go. Now it has 2 seals here, see them? There's still a third one up in there that didn't come out with it.
Your hole?
So here we go. There's the third one. All right, now we're just going to go ahead and pop that other one in. Yeah, so.
How come, I was going to bring her. She didn't want me to.
Now we're just going to push up on this one until it pops in. There we go. Can't really wiggle it now. Now to get this out of my way a little bit. And I think we're all the way, nope, still not quite all the way in. Well, maybe we are. Well, it feels like we are. That one, I think we're all the way in. Doesn't look it. Oh, I see, that bottom one doesn't go in. Okay, that bottom one is like a stop. So that's all the way in, she's level. So that's gold right there. This is the only place there's a little bit of clutch material. I mean, there's a fair amount. It's all on that magnet, so the magnet's doing its job. You want a close up? There you go. Just sludge. It's yuck, But I'm just going to take this basically off the best I can with my hand. Wipe it on a rag. Maybe I can just use a rag. Rag's probably dirtier than... That doesn't come off that magnet, I guess. Nope. But I'm just gonna. This rag's nasty anyway, so there we go. Get the most of it with a gross rag, and then we'll use a semi-gross rag to get the rest of it. Clean that magnet off nicey nice. That's the hardest thing to get it off of. That just catches all the material. But this pan is absolutely fantabulous. This is probably the nicest, cleanest pan I've ever pulled off of a car. So I'm not. In fact, I just took my daughter to work. I mentioned to her she wants a different car, and I'm like, you know what? No way, because this car, the more I mess with it, the more I realize this is a nice, good running car. So Cadillac, you've got my hats off to you. I'm very, very pleased. This is an '07. It's got 170,000 miles on it, and this is a fantastic car, so I'm not going to complain at all. Never hesitate ever to buy another Cadillac. Never. I'm sure it's got lemons just like any other car, but this ain't one of them. Especially considering a teenager's driving it, this car should be falling apart. But it's not. It's doing well. So there we go. That's nice and clean. I'm going to get a gasket scraper. We're going to scrape this gasket. And I just realized as I was taking my daughter back to work that they're having the weekend show this weekend, and there is some sweet, sweet rides. So I am going to take you all along on another local show. There's some new stuff there today, and so I'm going to try to cover that for you and let you see some more sweet rides from Crossville, Tennessee. But anyway, in the meantime, we got to get this done. Now before I destroy this gasket, because this gasket's in nice shape, a little bit of goo and it should be fine, I'm sure. So I'm going to put this gasket on there first and make sure it will work. Because if not, we can reuse the old gasket. I'm tempted to reuse it anyway because it's in such nice shape. But when you got new, use the new. So this is a good quality gasket. It's the rubber style, not the cork. There we go. That should work just fine. Alright, so we'll go ahead and scrape the old one off. Then we're going to put just a light film of Permatex on there. And I guess that is a rubber one. Okay. But I like this style. I've got a regular gasket scraper, which, because of the nature of this gasket, I was going to get a different kind of scraper, but this one's working just fine. This is why you don't put tons of Permatex on a gasket, because look at how nicely this is coming off. I was going to fast forward this, but I don't think I'm going to. I don't think I'm going to have to. Look at that. Well, see the rust under there, though? That would eventually have caused. Of course, it wasn't leaking. But look at that. That's a good stout gasket. I wish they gave me one of those. Look at that. It's a metal gasket. Probably better than what I'm getting ready to put into it. And it's got a seal. Oh, I like that. Kind of wondering maybe I should have left that now. Because look at that gasket. It's basically a metal shim with a seal around the inside. Man, I don't know. I kind of like that better than this. These always tend to leak over time. I think I might save it, just in case. But we were getting a little bit of rust here. And that's because of the biggest problem with rubber gaskets, because this is a metal gasket. The biggest problem with metal gaskets is, with rubber gaskets is we over tighten them. And when we over tighten them, they squish too far and then they compromise. This can't squish too far. This is a good quality gasket. I'm very tempted to put that back in. Just put a little bit of Permatex around it. In fact, I'm very, very tempted to do that. I don't know, because that gasket was perfect. It wasn't compromised at all. I don't know. If I put a thin coat of Permatex on that and then put this one back in, I think that's going to be my preferred method. You may criticize me if you like, but I really think this is a better option, and this thing wasn't leaking. So I'm going to put a little bit of Permatex on it and put this gasket right back in. Okay, now this may bite me in the butt. And at $11 a quart, you don't want to be buying fluid twice. But I'm going to try to reuse this old gasket. I just like it better because I can't over torque it. There's still a good edge on it. I'm just going to put a good bead of Permatex along this gasket. And I think this gasket's going to be just fine. Honestly, I would never put that much Permatex on a gasket, except for the style gasket this is. Oh, and I need to wipe that. Oh, I almost screwed up. Gotta wipe this. That gasket, I'm so impressed with the design on that gasket that I think even the old gasket with that design, with just a little bit of Permatex to ensure it to work properly, would be better than the one that the gasket. I mean, that's a good gasket that came in it, but transmissions, as you know, you can over tighten them, and if you do so, that gasket will spit out and leak. And this car doesn't have a spot of oil underneath it, so I am not going to be the first person to cause one, if that makes any sense. So I'm going to put this back in the way I had it. I had the train over there. We get a bolt ready. I'm going to get a bolt started right here. And I know that looked like a lot of Permatex, and it was. And I don't like doing that. But I think the gasket itself is going to do the sealing, and I just put that on there as a little insurance. So, we got to get this to line up over here. There we go. Good thing about that hard gasket is it can't move. I mean, if it moves on one side, it's gonna move on the other side. So we're just gonna run these two in here. That'll hold it for me. We'll throw another one up here in the end. Kind of get everything lined up. So once we squish this in here, there should only be a little tiny bit of Permatex left to literally, I say literally twice already, to take up whatever gaps there is. But if it squeezes out, it isn't going to squeeze that gasket out. Okay, and any nicks that I may have put in that gasket, taking it off, will be taken up by the Permatex. Well, that's my thought. Now, I could be wrong. I'll let you know if I failed here. And you don't have to follow suit. If you want to use the new gasket, by all means do so. But I just thought this was the better recourse, in my opinion. Or go find yourself that style gasket and put a brand new. That would have been the best idea. But aftermarket stuff isn't. That must have been a factory pan gasket, which means this transmission has, if that's a factory gasket, that means that this transmission has 170,000 miles on it. And you show me a transmission with 170,000 miles on it that looks that good. I don't even know what kind of transmission this is. But daggum, I like it. I want to put one in my car. And it shifts nice too. I mean, this thing shifts really good. And I don't know. I've got nothing bad to say about this car. So, and if Cadillac needs a spokesperson, hey, I'm your person. Because this car, everywhere I turn on this car, it impresses me. So, and it's hit a deer twice. That's the only thing I got. It's a deer magnet. That's the only problem I got with this car. It's a deer magnet. I don't know if it's because of color. Maybe I should change the color. But look at, I mean, the underneath of this car, it looks like brand new. I don't understand. I mean, that's crazy, right? I guess I'm just used to working on old stuff. But I mean, the exhaust is nice. The bottom of the car looks like new. And there's not a spot of rust on this car. I mean, a little bit of surface rust over here on the K-frame, on the front engine cradle, whatever you want to call it. K-frames, engine cradles, yeah, whatever. Us old guys call them K-frames. You modern school guys, you call them engine cradles. Alright, we can get this oil pan out of my way. And almost, my brain's almost going, that was too easy. And I'm worried. I did have to do a little research on oils, because new stuff takes new kinds of oils. I've got Dextron 3 here and Mercron here in the shop. But I did a little research, and this takes Dextron 6. Nothing less than Dextron 4, but I don't want to put the minimum. I want to put the maximum. I want to put the best protection. This thing has been good so far. I want to keep it good. So I'm putting the Dextron 6 back in, which cost me $11 a quart. Yay. Golly, cars are expensive. For you out there, if you're watching this, I'm guessing you're a do-it-yourselfer. Because if you weren't, you probably wouldn't be watching this. But if you are not a do-it-yourselfer and you've got to pay people to fix your car, God bless you, because that's got to be horrible. The cost of car repair is just ridiculous. So, anyway, I'm not going to bore you with me sitting here putting all these bolts in, although I've got all but like 4 in already while I've been yapping at you. So you can listen to me yap while I put this in. The last couple of them in. I'm going to zing them with the little Milwaukee ratchet of mine that I took them off with, and I'm going to wipe it, make it look nice. In fact, there's oil free under here, and we got to put some oil in. But anyway, oh, that one's kind of giving me fits. 2 more. I might as well let you watch. You're in agony. Well, you just watched me put umpteen bolts in. That must have been exciting. Anyhow, that's the last one. I'm going to get the ratchet now, and we'll zing those in. Oh, that one's a little cross-threaded. Not anymore, though. All right. And let's find my ratchet. My battery's sounding a little low, but I think what I'm going to do is we're going to start from the middle and work our way down. I'm going to get a regular hand ratchet and just sock these up by hand. But basically, you get the gist of it. I'm just going to snug each one of them, make sure they're tight, because this thing I don't trust. I don't want to over torque. And then we're going to put some fluid in it, and then we're done. Woohoo! This is kind of where my being impressed with this transmission goes a little south, because I've got my socket in here so you can see it, but right here is another plug just like this one, and this is the one you fill it with. There is no fill tube. It's got sensors that'll tell you if your fluid's low, so you fill this just like a standard transmission. You fill it up, and you fill it up until it runs out just like a standard transmission. And so that's what we're fixing to do right now. Now, I know none's going to run out. Yowza. Because there's none in there. We took it all out when we did the pan gasket. and we did the filter, so that we know there's none in there. And they told me it takes 3 point something quarts. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to pull this out, and I'm going to squirt in, 3 quarts or so until it starts to run out. Then here's the brilliance of it all. Because it's an automatic transmission, you check it while it's running. And in case you haven't noticed, there's an exhaust pipe right here. That's just brilliant. So we have to try to get fluid in here before the exhaust burns your arm off or your hand off, and or the hose that you're trying to fill it with. That's just great. So this is where my love for this transmission goes a little south, but again, no leaks. Dipstick tubes always leak, so I get why they eliminated it. And they got sensors that'll go bing, bing, bing. Your fluid is low, so you got to get under your car and take this stupid plug out and check it. But I have to check it when it's running. So I'm going to fill it till it starts to run out now. And it looked like it was not tight. I'm going to fill it till it runs out. Then we're going to start it, and we're going to fill it some more. By the time I get it up here on the lift, it's already going to be getting hot. So great. Fantastic. I wonder if I can maybe get in there without going, I don't know. We'll see what we can do. But in the meantime, let's go ahead and fill it from here. You can use a fluid transfer pump. You can use, this is a differential filler-upper doohickey. And this is really going to be a challenge because the way this is designed, come on baby, it's kind of a, there we go. You've got to push it in. It works rather well, but it's a little awkward in this particular use. You got to take the top off. It just looks like a big grease gun. You pull a little handle down, and then you unscrew the top, and you pour in the fluid from the top, like this. Try to keep the top from getting dirty. I usually set it on a rag, and I've been putting the fluid back over here where you can't see it, so I'm just going to pour in here, which you can't see, and just fill it up. Put the top on. Now these are super fine threads, and this one's super old. You gotta be careful not to cross thread them. And we're just sticking her in here, right like so, and then pushing in the little plunger, and just keep on pushing until I pull it back a little bit so I won't get a drip. Then I gotta pull it out and do the whole process over again. And I know it's kind of hard to see what's going on. Maybe I'll pull the camera back and you can kind of watch what I'm doing as I'm doing it. This tube holds a little under 2 quarts, and actually you still can't see what I'm doing, so let's fix that again. Now you can see what's going on. Man, camera angles are a drag. Here we go. Slide it in, push my plunger. It says 3 point something quarts, and this thing holds roughly just a little over half a quart. So before we start to see fluid, we should probably have at least 3 quarts in, and then we'll start sneaking up on it. Actually, it holds just about half a quart. Because I'm just looking at it now, and it's just about perfect half a quart. So we'll keep going. I'll turn the camera back on when I get close. When I get the 3 quarts in there, and come on, go there. There we go. This is gonna be fun when this exhaust is hot. Yeah. All right. Well, anyway. All Alright, I've got 3 in there now, and it's supposed to be 3 point something, so we're going to go ahead and get this in here now. Start putting it in. Actually, I should find my plug just in case. Oop, there's 3.5. I think it might have been 3.6, so just hang tight. Bear with me. Pour the rest of this cord in there, whatever, 4 full quarts. If I can get this whole one to go in. I've got my plug ready to go in, so once it starts to spill, my nice, neat, fluid-free underside of this car is going to get soaked. So this is 4 quarts right now inside, if I can get all of this in there. So let's see how much of this goes in. Alright, ready? Here we go. Oh, and there it is, starting to drip. Pull it back. Oh, I can't get my thing out. Story of my life. Dripping down my arm. Great. Okay. Well, they weren't lying. 3 point something quarts. Ah. Now we throw my plug in there loosely. I've got what's left in my, whatever you call that thing, plunger, fluid adder, differential filler, tubey, caulking gun thingy with jobby. Alright, and now I got to start the car. I think what I might do is get my ladder, climb up on the lift, leave the lift up, start it, and then pull that plug and see if I've got anything coming out, and then we'll go from there. As you can see, the engine's running. I pull that little plug out of there. As you can see, it's not running out anymore. We're going to put the plunger back in and put what's left. Oh shoot, going to have to refill. I'm going to go shut the engine off. It doesn't get hot. Alright, I don't have the plug in anymore. But we've sucked some of that up into the unit now, but so it's probably starting to bleed back down in. So I need to get this coming in quick. Do I have any more? Nope. So she's a little below par now. What I'm going to do is I'm going to fill up my plunger, and then I'm going to go ahead and fill it like I did before, but I'm not going to put the plug back in. And then I'm going to start it up again. Do the same thing. That exhaust was starting to get a little warm already, not hot, but so let's put some more in it. Oh man. Wow. Took another half a quart. Oh, it's starting to run out now. Alright. Oh geez. Well, maybe I will put my plug in just a little bit. Alright, just to keep it down to a slow dribble, I'm going to refill my can one more time. That way I'll be ready for it this time. That took another half a quart. Whatever happened to the old-fashioned dipstick tube, right? You know? I know they always leak, but this is kind of ridiculous, if you ask me. But anyway. Alright, I've loaded my plunger. I wonder if I should just get it into place. Nah, I think I'll wait. Didn't take long to get that out of there. Right now I'm going to go start the car again, pull that plug out the rest of the way real quick. See if we can't refill this thing to the tippity top. Ready? I'm just going to let it roll so you can kind of see the time frame and everything how it's going. So here we go. I'm going to go up and start it, and then I'm going to finishing it. Yeah, finish refilling it. Said that backwards, didn't I? Yeah. Alright, got it running again. Pull the plug. No longer running out. Put that in. Start a plunging. Holy moly. That's all of it. I'm out of oil. Great. That means I didn't put enough in. I don't have enough oil. Yay! Stay tuned. Another episode of Once Again, I Didn't Do It Right. Unbelievable, I say, unbelievable. Here we go again. We're going to start it again. I made the mistake of taking the plug out before starting it. Yeah, and took a bath. So don't do that. I'm going to start it again, see if I can't get this other cord in there. Ran out of the Dextron 3 or 6. Going to put some of the heavy-duty Allison transmission stuff in there. I figure it'll dilute enough if I got, what, 5 quarts of the other stuff. So this shouldn't, I'm hoping I'm only going to put about a half quart of this in there. So. Alright, here we go again. Shouldn't come out now because it's running. Come on, baby. Come on, fill up. Nope, not filling up. Oh, wait a minute. I think I did see a little fill up there. For the safety of it all, just to be safe. We'll do one more. Oh, it's actually coming out a little bit already. So I think we'll just... Oops. Yeah, there we go. Okay. Come on, get out of there. She's running out pretty good. While it's running, that was good. Put that plug back in. What a mess. Now, look at the rag I've been wiping my hand on. It's almost all red. Anyhow, that's that. I'm going to tighten the plug up. Actually, I probably should go shut the car off before I do that because the exhaust is getting hot. Yeah. Exhaust is a little warm, but not horrible. We're going to go ahead and tighten that plug back up. Honestly, I still love Cadillac, but sorry guys, this was stupid. Okay. That was a stupid design. But I guess they're trying to eliminate the backyard mechanic or the non... My daughter said she was going to do this with some help from her long-distance boyfriend. Yeah, that wasn't happening. Alright, now it's time for a test drive. We've not had a good track record on the test drives lately, folks. So hopefully this one will go better. So hang tight. I'm going to take you along. Here we go. Problem is, I just killed the battery on my camera doing this video, and I was getting ready to head off to the car show. And what am I doing? Turn on the wipers. And I'm fixing to head to the car show. It's already started, so if I don't get there soon, it's going to be over. But I don't have enough battery to film the whole thing, so yay. I just put a fresh battery in the camera, so I got one full fresh battery. So let's make this a quick ride. Put my seatbelt on, safety first. Let's make this a quick ride. Make sure everything's shifting the way it's supposed to. So far so good. Reverse anyway. Ooh, my daughter's like 3 feet tall. Gotta adjust the mirrors. Alright, we're going to back out into the street, which is stupid, but I'm going to do it anyway. There's nobody coming. Alright. And let's go. 1 shift. 2 shift. 3 shift. 4 shift. 5 shift. Well, I'd say that's satisfactory. And it didn't clear the codes. Great. I gotta plug the battery open to clear the codes. It says I'm getting 3.6 miles per gallon. Well, that's awesome. Now let's turn around right. Yeah. Hello, just visiting. I'm leaving now. Nobody coming. Well, runs a lot better than the Corvette. Anyway, she's shifting good. The auto parts store did make a mistake and accidentally stick a Mercron 5 in there. So I hope that, I don't think that'll make any difference. It's only 1 quart. Out of, I think, 11 or 12 or 13 or however many it takes. I did have to put a half a quart of the Allison synthetic in there. Again, I don't think, if anything, that would probably improve it. But she's working great. So we'll call this video a success. Alright, we're done. D-U-N. Alright, I know that's not how you spell it, but you know, it's like dumb. D-U-M. Nope, that's not it either. But anyway, we're done. And it works. Yay! Now off to the show. I don't mean to rush, but this was a how-to. Had to get it done. And now I want to go have some fun. So come on along with me. Let's have some fun at the show. It's just a local show, but it's a lot of fun. A lot of new cars I saw there when I came through. So I'm going to go there. But if you liked this video, if it helped you out with your car, do me a favor and subscribe. Tell your friends about it. Hit the like button if you liked it. And yeah, that's pretty much it. See ya!